Imagine walking through ancient corridors where whispers from the past seem to follow your every step. Picture the chilling sensation of being watched, but when you turn around, no one is there. Welcome to the 15 most haunted places in England, where history and the supernatural collide. If you dare, stay tuned, because what you're about to see might just make you question reality. 1. Tower of London, London. One of the most famous buildings in the world, yet also one of the most haunted. The Tower of London is not just a tourist attraction, it's a 1,000-year-old fortress soaked in blood and tragedy. This infamous structure has seen countless executions, imprisonments, and unspeakable cruelty. One of the most famous spirits here is that of Anne Boleyn, the second wife of Henry VIII. Beheaded in 1536, her ghost is said to wander the Tower Green, holding her severed head. Guards have reported witnessing her spectral figure, glowing eerily in the moonlight. Another infamous ghost is the White Lady, often seen waving from the bloody tower's windows. The tower's chilling atmosphere, combined with centuries of dark history, makes it a prime destination for paranormal enthusiasts. Could you brave the tower's haunted halls? 2. Borley Rectory, Essex, the most haunted house in England, or what's left of it. Once standing in the quiet countryside of Essex, Borley Rectory was built in 1862, and by the early 1900s, it had gained a terrifying reputation. Strange knocking sounds, ghostly footsteps, and spectral figures plagued its residents. The most famous of these spirits is a phantom nun, said to have been bricked alive into the walls. After a fire in 1939, only the ruins remained, but the hauntings continued. Ghost hunters flocked to the site, and to this day, visitors still report unexplained lights, cold drafts, and eerie whispers. Borley Rectory's dark legacy is legendary, so much so that even in ruins its presence feels disturbingly alive. 3. Hampton Court Palace, London. A royal palace and a royal haunt. Once home to King Henry VIII, Hampton Court Palace is not just known for its lavish design, but also for its infamous ghostly residents. Catherine Howard, Henry's fifth wife, was dragged screaming from the palace's corridors, pleading for her life before she was executed. Her anguished cries still echo in what's now called the Haunted Gallery. Visitors have reported an intense, icy feeling in the air, and some have even seen her spirit running, as if trying to escape her tragic fate. Jane Seymour, another of Henry's wives, also haunts Hampton Court, often appearing as a sorrowful figure in white, wandering the courtyards. For those brave enough to explore the palace, every room holds a story, and perhaps a restless spirit. 4. The ancient Ram Inn, Gloucestershire, a place where even the bravest fear to tread. The ancient Ram Inn isn't just a haunted house, it's a place of nightmares. Built in 1145 on a pagan burial ground, this former inn is drenched in dark history. Visitors and paranormal investigators alike have described seeing apparitions, being physically attacked by unseen forces, and even witnessing full-bodied figures walking through walls. Some claim the inn is home to demonic entities, with reports of a succubus appearing at night to torment guests. If you're looking for a truly terrifying experience, the ancient Ram Inn may just be the scariest place you'll ever visit, if you're brave enough to spend the night. 5. Chillingham Castle, Northumberland, where torture, tragedy, and ghosts meet. Chillingham Castle, once a stronghold during England's bloody wars with Scotland, is home to countless spirits. The most famous of these is the Blue Boy, a child whose screams are heard echoing through the castle walls at midnight. His glowing blue form is often seen in the castle's pink room. But it's not just the Blue Boy. Lady Mary Berkeley also haunts the castle, wandering its corridors in search of her unfaithful husband. Many visitors have reported cold spots, hearing footsteps, and feeling watched. Chillingham Castle's grisly past as a place of torture only adds to its terrifying reputation. This is one castle where history refuses to rest in peace. 6. Pendle Hill, Lancashire. Witch trials and restless spirits. Pendle Hill is a place where dark history lives on. Pendle Hill is synonymous with the Pendle witch trials of 1612, where 10 people were hanged for witchcraft. To this day, many believe their spirits still haunt the hill. Paranormal investigators frequently visit, reporting strange lights, ghostly apparitions, and an overwhelming sense of unease. Visitors have described seeing shadowy figures moving through the mist, and some have even heard disembodied voices chanting in the wind. Pendle Hill's tragic past and eerie atmosphere make it one of England's most notorious haunted locations. Could the souls of the Pendle witches still linger here, seeking justice for their wrongful deaths? 7. Pluckley Village, Kent. The most haunted village in England, where every corner tells a ghost story. Pluckley is famous for its picturesque charm, but beneath the surface, it hides a much darker side. The village is reputed to have as many as 12 distinct spirits, including the ghost of a highwayman who was killed in a sword fight, and a screaming man who fell to his death in a brickworks. The Lady of the Rose Court, who is said to have taken her own life, appears as a sorrowful figure wandering the gardens. And then there's the notorious Daring Woods, often referred to as the Screaming Woods, due to the sounds of terrifying, disembodied cries. Pluckley's reputation as the most haunted village in England ensures it remains a hotspot for ghost hunters, eager to experience the paranormal activity for themselves. 8. Berry Pomeroy Castle, Devon, a forgotten castle, home to tortured souls. Berry Pomeroy Castle may look like a picturesque ruin, but behind its ivy-covered walls lies a legacy of tragedy. 2 spirits are said to haunt the castle, the White Lady and the Blue Lady. The White Lady is believed to be the ghost of Margaret Pomeroy, who was imprisoned in the castle dungeons by her jealous sister and left to starve. Her ghost now roams the dungeons with a sorrowful glow, waiting for justice. The Blue Lady, on the other hand, has a far darker story. Legend has it she lures people to their deaths. Visitors have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread when they enter certain parts of the castle. For anyone brave enough to explore this ancient ruin, you might just encounter one of its tortured souls. 9. The Screaming Tunnel, Dorset. A dark tunnel that echoes with fear. Hidden in the rural landscape of Dorset, the Screaming Tunnel is not for the faint-hearted. Legend tells of a young girl who perished here in a horrific fire, and to this day, her tormented screams can be heard echoing through the passage at night. Many say that if you light a match in the middle of the tunnel, the flame will instantly go out, and the chilling scream of the girl will pierce the silence. The tunnel's oppressive darkness, combined with its tragic history, makes it a terrifying spot for ghost hunters. Could you stand alone in the tunnel and hear her cries? 10. The Sker Inn, Wales, near Abergavenny. 900 years of history and plenty of ghosts. The Sker Inn is not only one of the oldest pubs in Wales, but also one of the most haunted. The inn was once used as a courtroom, and those sentenced to death were hanged from the very beams above the bar. Visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures, hearing ghostly footsteps, and even feeling a rope tightening around their necks. The most famous of these spirits is said to be a former judge who condemned many to death. His presence often felt near the old courtroom. Ghost hunters flock to the inn, eager to experience the chilling energy that lingers in every corner. Could the souls of the hanged still haunt this historic inn? 11. Treasure Holt, Suffolk. A sailor's tragedy still haunts this medieval house. Treasure Holt, a medieval house nestled in Suffolk, carries with it a tragic tale of betrayal and death. It's said that a sailor, freshly returned from a long voyage, was brutally murdered here. Now his restless spirit lingers in the house, seeking justice. Visitors have reported strange occurrences, objects moving on their own, doors slamming shut, and the eerie sound of footsteps when no one else is around. The most unsettling phenomenon is the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes, especially in the dead of night. If you're seeking an intimate brush with the paranormal, Treasure Holt is the place where the past refuses to let go. 12. The Red Lion, Avebury. Where ancient stone circles meet ghostly encounters. The Red Lion in Avebury, a quaint 17th century pub, may look inviting from the outside, but it's known as one of the most haunted pubs in England. It stands at the heart of the Avebury Stone Circle, an ancient and mystical site. The most famous ghost haunting the pub is Flory, a woman who was murdered by her husband after he caught her with another man. Her spirit is said to roam the bar, occasionally moving objects and startling guests. In addition to Flory, other ghostly figures have been seen near the stone circle itself, adding to the pub's reputation as a paranormal hotspot. Could the spirits from ancient times still be tied to this mysterious location? 13. Highgate Cemetery, London. Where the dead don't rest quietly. Highgate Cemetery in London is more than just a resting place for famous figures. It's a playground for the supernatural. The most famous of its ghostly residents is the Highgate Vampire, a tall, shadowy figure with glowing red eyes, often seen drifting through the graves at night. Witnesses have reported an unnerving feeling of being followed, only to turn around and see nothing. The cemetery's Victorian architecture and sprawling, overgrown graves give it a gothic, haunting beauty that only adds to its sinister reputation. Some visitors have even claimed to see ghostly figures standing by the graves of the long-forgotten, their hollow eyes watching the living. 14. Arendelle Castle, West Sussex. 1,000 years of history, and plenty of ghosts to go with it. Arendelle Castle has stood for over 1,000 years, and with that history comes stories of love, loss, and ghostly encounters. The most famous ghost is a woman in white, often seen wandering the castle's grounds late at night. Her identity remains a mystery, but her presence has been felt by countless visitors. There's also the terrifying figure of a tall, shadowy man who appears suddenly and then vanishes into thin air. The castle's long history of battles, betrayals, and political intrigue makes it a prime location for paranormal activity. As you walk through its grand halls, don't be surprised if you feel the cold touch of the past. 15. Woodchester Mansion, Gloucestershire. An unfinished mansion and a host of restless spirits. Woodchester Mansion is unlike any other haunted location. It was never completed, and its construction was abruptly halted, leaving it frozen in time. The mansion's eerie, unfinished state gives it an otherworldly atmosphere, but it's not just the building's appearance that sends chills down the spine. Woodchester is home to a host of paranormal activity. Visitors have reported seeing ghostly apparitions, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling an intense cold that can't be explained. One of the most chilling stories involves a stonemason who was killed during construction. His ghost is said to still roam the mansion's corridors. For ghost hunters, Woodchester Mansion is a treasure trove of unexplained phenomena, where the line between the living and the dead feels incredibly thin. And there you have it. 15 of the most haunted places in England, each with its own chilling story. Whether it's the tortured spirits of ancient castles, eerie apparitions in forgotten tunnels, or the restless souls in historic inns, these places are not for the faint-hearted. But if you're a true believer in the paranormal, or just someone looking for a thrill, these haunted locations will test your courage. So, which one would you dare to visit? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more chilling tales from around the world.